Hi YouTube. So I got some driftwood for my tank, obviously. I just collected this driftwood basically out beside a river here in Perth, Western Australia. And it was just lying on the bank of the river. So it wasn't actually like washed up. I think it was a tree that had fallen on the side of the bank. And just been left there over time and basically been, waterlogged by the river as well. Because it's the summer here now, the water has receded. So that would have been under the water for most of the winter. And basically I was able to get it now because it's the summer. So which is perfect because it was waterlogged and also dried out a bit as well. So obviously that's pretty good because when I brought it back, this one actually sank. This one didn't. That's why I have a rock tied to the back of it. So I just got a bit of fishing line. I just tied a rock to it. So when that actually gets waterlogged, I can take that rock off. This one here I actually had already. I bought it in a pet store and it was $70. So these two were obviously free, which is great. So they've probably been sitting for a few years on the side of the river with being obviously waterlogged and drying out and being weathered. And for anybody that wants to get DIY driftwood, obviously you have to be quite careful. I kind of simplified it for myself because I was thinking, what type of wood, and I was looking at, looking up information on different types of trees and, trying to see what was, aquarium safe and what wasn't. But basically, you just have to find a wood that is hard. And yeah, obviously a hard wood is better than a soft wood. But it really doesn't matter whether it's a hard wood or a soft wood. It just has to be hard. And what I mean, obviously, I mean exactly what I'm saying. It has to be hard, as in, it has to be almost like a rock. So it has to be so hard that you can't even dig your fingernail into it. And these two pieces were very, very hard, very, very solid, and very weathered bits of wood. So they basically were almost like wood in its skeleton state. And that's what happens to wood when it rots or it's left out, in the ground or in water for a long time. It gets to a certain state that it can't really rot much more. I mean, it will rot, but it'll take a long time. Because there's tannins in the wood, it stops the bacteria from eating the wood or killing the wood or whatever, it actually gets to a certain point where it can't rot anymore and it kind of almost goes into a mummified state. I think this one is kind of, going close to that. I'm not sure about this one. I think this one is a little bit off that, but it's still a very, very hard wood. So obviously the softer the wood, the more stuff it's going to release into the water. Because it's, the water can get into it easily and it can obviously release more stuff. And when you bring it back home, make sure you just rip off any soft bits, so bark, bits of branches, stuff like that. Anything that can tear off easily, you don't want that on it. And what I did is I put it into a bath of water, and I just basically, obviously, I filled it up into a bath of water first. I put in a lot of antibacterial medicines and stuff like that. I left it for a few days. I left it for 2 days, okay? And then after that, I just kept on changing the water and scrubbing it and cleaning it until I got everything that was soft off the wood. And I was just left with this kind of, the hardest form of the wood that I could be left with. It doesn't release any tannins. So that's the similar reason why you want something that's almost like so weathered that it's mummified almost. So it's like a skeleton of wood. So that's just the basic way I did it. And it seems to have worked because, they're two very, very nice bits of wood, pieces of driftwood, and I'm very happy with them. So I did attach some moss today as well. So I attached flame moss, mini Christmas moss, and Java moss. So for instance, this is mini Christmas moss, this is flame moss, Java, Java, Christmas moss, Java moss. Yeah, so obviously it looks quite nice as it is, but I'm looking forward to seeing it when the moss starts to grow. Obviously I want to kind of get that natural planted kind of a look in a way without actually having substrate. So I don't want any substrate, so for obviously hygienic reasons. So this is, you know, I'm really happy about this because it's just going to give me that nice look without having substrate. Yeah, so basically that's it. That's really everything that I can think of. I don't know why that discus is eating that. He better not be eating my moss. Hopefully not. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else that I needed to say? No. Yeah, so yeah, just be careful obviously if you're going to find your own driftwood. Up to you what you do with it, but that's just my idea. Yeah, so thanks for watching.